What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we do deep dives on the cars that actually matter, and today we have something wild. Audi just changed the game. The next generation RS6 is coming, and for the first time ever, you get to choose your poison. Plug-in hybrid V8 or fully electric RS6 e-tron. Both are promising north of 700 horsepower, and both are gunning for the title of fastest performance estate ever built. That is not marketing speak. That is Audi looking at the E63, looking at the M5 Touring, looking at the Taycan Sport Turismo, and saying, hold my Weissbier. Let's start with why this matters. The RS6 has always been the car for people who refuse to compromise. You want supercar pace, but you also have kids, dogs, luggage, maybe a set of track wheels. You want to cross Europe at 170 miles per hour at 3 a.m., then hit a mountain pass at 7 a.m., then pick up groceries at 9. No other badge does that quite like RS6. And now Audi is saying you can have that same energy with a V8 soundtrack or with dead silent EV torque. So for the next 2 hours, we are going to break down everything. Where the market is right now, what Audi is actually building, how the two powertrains compare, what it will drive like, what it will cost, and who should buy which version. Let me set the scene. The current C8 RS6 performance makes 621 horsepower from a 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8. It is already absurdly fast. 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds, quarter mile in 11.5, and it will do that all day with 4 adults and their luggage. But the world changed. Emissions rules in Europe are brutal. China is going electric, and BMW put a hybrid V8 in the new M5. So Audi had a choice. Kill the V8 or reinvent it. They chose reinvent. The next RS6 will ride on 2 different platforms. The plug-in hybrid V8 will use an evolution of PPC, which is premium platform combustion. Think of it as MLB Evo turned up to 11. The RS6 e-tron will use PPE, premium platform electric, same as the A6 e-tron and the Q6 e-tron, but with RS-specific everything. Let's talk numbers, because I know you want them. Audi has not released final specs, but here's what we know from suppliers, mules, and people I trust. The plug-in hybrid V8 is taking the 4.0-liter and adding a serious electric motor on the transmission. Think 120 to 150 horsepower from the e-motor alone, plus a battery around 25 to 28 kilowatt-hours usable. System output is expected to land between 700 and 730 horsepower, with torque around 700 pound-feet. 0 to 60 should dip into 3.0 flat, maybe 2.9 with rollout. Top speed will still be 190 miles per hour with a dynamic plus pack. The electric range is the big deal though. Expect 60 to 70 miles of real-world EV range on WLTP, which means 40 to 50 miles EPA. That means your daily commute, school run, and most errands are done with no gas, no noise, no drama. Then on Sunday you fire up the V8 and scare yourself. Now the RS6 e-tron. This is the one that breaks brains. It uses a dual motor setup, maybe even tri-motor for a top RS6 e-tron performance variant. Base RS6 e-tron should be around 700 horsepower. The performance could touch 800. Torque will be instant, 800 and 900 pound-feet, and because it is electric you get that torque from 0 RPM. 0 to 60, I am betting 2.8 seconds. Quarter mile in the high 10s. Top speed will be limited, probably 155 to 165 miles per hour, because aero and battery longevity. The battery is going to be around 100 kilowatt-hours, 800-volt architecture, so charging from 10 to 80% in about 21 minutes on a 270 kilowatt charger. Range. If Audi wants this to be a real Autobahn car, need to be 350 miles WLTP. That would be 300 miles EPA. And they know it. This cannot be a car you are scared to take on a road trip. All right, let's walk around the car. The camo cars are already running around the Nürburgring, and the proportions are killer. The hybrid and EV will share body, but the details change. The V8 version keeps a real grille because it needs air. Big single frame, RS honeycomb, huge intakes, functional brake cooling. The e-tron version goes with a mostly closed-off grille, like the A6 e-tron concept, but it will have active aero flaps down low that open when the motors and battery need cooling. Both cars get wide body fenders. The RS6 has always been about that stance. Expect 40 to 50 millimeters wider than a standard A6 event. The wheels will be 22-inch standard, with carbon ceramic brakes optional. And yes, the oval RS exhausts are staying on the V8. Audi knows that buyers want the theater. On the e-tron, you get a massive rear diffuser and no pipes, but they might do something with sound. The A6 e-tron already has an exterior speaker for pedestrian safety, so an RS version could get a synthetic sound that is actually cool, not a fake V8, but something like the e-tron GTIS. Step inside and the cabin is all new. Audi's next-gen MMI is coming, and it is a big shift. You get the 11.9-inch virtual cockpit, a 14.5-inch OLED center touch, and a 10.9-inch passenger display. The passenger can watch videos or run nav without distracting you. RS models get specific displays with G-force meters, power distribution, battery temp, boost pressure on the V8, lap timers, everything. The seats are new too. RS bucket seats with integrated headrests, massaging, ventilation, and a new microfiber that is 45% recycled. The flat-bottom steering wheel has satellite buttons for drive modes, exhaust, suspension, and a new RS individual button that can store 2 full setups. One for your commute, one for attack mode. Cargo space, because it is still an event. Expect around 565 liters with the seats up, 1680 with them down. The hybrid loses a bit on the floor for the battery, maybe 50 liters. The e-tron has a frunk, probably 80 to 90 liters, which is perfect for charge cables and a weekend bag. Let's get into how they drive, because specs are one thing, but RS is about feel. The hybrid V8 is going to be the most complex. You have a twin-turbo V8, an 8-speed auto, a center difference quattro system, an e-motor, a battery, and rear-wheel steering. The trick is integration. In EV mode, it will be rear drive, all-wheel depending on load, dead silent, and probably faster than most hot hatches to 60 just on electric. When the V8 wakes up, Audi will use the e-motor to torque fill. That means no turbo lag. You mat the throttle and the electric motor hits instantly while the turbos spool. The result is throttle response that feels naturally aspirated. In the corners, the battery is under the floor, so the center of gravity is actually lower than the current RS6. But it is heavier. Current RS6 is 4,720 pounds. The hybrid will be 5,100 plus. So Audi is fitting a 48-volt active roll stabilization, like on the RSQ8, plus rear steer and a new brake-by-wire system. The goal is to hide the weight. The RS6 e-tron is a different animal. No engine, no transmission, just torque. PPE puts a battery in the floor, motors at each axle, and a perfect 50-50 weight distribution. The center of gravity is lower than AR8. Audi Sport is also working on torque vectoring. Not brake-based, but true torque vectoring with the motors. They can overspeed the outside rear wheel in a corner to rotate the car. Early drives of the A6 e-tron say it already turns in like a smaller car, so the RS version should be wild. The challenge is weight and feel. EVs are heavy. Expect 5,300 to 5,500 pounds. That is GLS territory, so the air suspension will be key. 3-chamber air springs, adaptive dampers, and a new RS mode that drops the car 20 millimeters and firms everything up. Steering feel is the other question. The e-tron GT RS is good, but still a bit numb. Audi says they benchmarked Taycan Turbo S and Lucid Sapphire for this car. They know it has to feel alive. Let's talk sound, because half of you are already typing in the comments. The V8 will keep a real exhaust, and with a hybrid it might even be louder. Because a car can run EV in towns, Audi has more freedom to make the V8 aggressive when it is on. Expect valves, a resonator delete in dynamic, and pops on overrun. There is also a rumor of an optional RS Sport exhaust plus with titanium. For the e-tron, Audi Sport is not doing fake V8 noise. They are working with their sound lab on something unique. Think of it like the e-tron GTRS but more aggressive. A deep, technical, electric tone that builds with speed and load. You will hear the motors, the inverter, and the synthetic layer together. You can turn it off if you want silence. Charging and fueling. The hybrid has a 22 kilowatt AC charger option, so you can fill the battery in about 2.5 hours on a wall box. That is important, because if you can charge at home and at work, you might never burn gas Monday to Friday. Fuel tank will shrink a bit to fit the battery, probably 19 gallons instead of 21. So total range with gas and electric should still be 450 to 500 miles. The e-tron is 800 volt, so 270 kilowatt DC fast charging. On a road trip, you are looking at 18 to 22 minutes to add 200 miles. Audi is also pushing plug-in charge, so you pull up, plug in, and it bills you automatically. No apps, no cards. Pricing is going to hurt, but it always does. The current RS6 performance starts at $126,000. With options, most are $140 to $150. The hybrid V8 will be more because of the battery and tech. I expect $145,000 base, $165,000 well-equipped, $180,000 for loaded RS6 performance with ceramics and the fancy paint. The RS6 e-tron might actually start lower, because EVs have fewer parts but the battery is expensive. Maybe $138,000 base, $160,000 loaded. The problem is the options. Carbon packs, ceramics, Bang & Olufsen 3D audio, the new OLED lights, Audi exclusive paint. You can add $30K easy. Lease deal will be interesting because EVs get tax credits in some markets and hybrids might too. So who buys which one? If you love engines, you do long road trips, you tow, or you just want the last great V8 estate, get the hybrid. You get EV silence for the city and V8 madness for the weekend. If you are done with gas, you have home charging, you want the fastest point-to-point car, and you love instant torque, get the e-tron. The e-tron will be quicker, cheaper to run, and probably more reliable long-term. The V8 will hold value better and sound better. My take, if I had to order today, I would take the e-tron for daily and keep a V8 i8 for Sundays. But I know most of you cannot do that, so you have to choose. Let's answer some comments I know are coming. Is the V8 going away? Yes, eventually. Euro 7 and global CO2 rules mean this is probably the last RS6 with a V8. So if you want one, this is it. Will there be a sedan? No, RS6 is a van only. If you want a sedan, that is RS7, and yes, there will be an RS7 e-tron too. Can you tune it? The V8, yes, but it is harder with a hybrid system. The e-tron, probably not for a while, because the software is locked down. Will it come to the US? Yes, both versions. Audi of America confirmed the event is here to stay. When can you buy it? Reveal is late 2026. Delivery is mid-2027 as a 2028 model. Before we wrap, let's do a quick dream spec. For the hybrid V8, I am doing Nardo Gray, black optics, 22-inch milled wheels, carbon ceramics, RS design package with red stitching, dynamic ride control, sport exhaust, and the new panoramic roof. For the e-tron, I want Zeppelin blue, black optics, 22-inch aero wheels, ceramics, RS interior with blue stitching, and the full OLED light animation. Final thoughts. Audi did not have to build either of these. They could have made another soft SUV, but they looked at the RS6 legacy and decided to double down. A 700 horsepower plug-in V8 wagon and a 700 horsepower electric wagon, sold at the same time, is insane. It is the end of one era and the start of another, and we get to watch it happen. If you made it this far, you are a real one. Hit subscribe if you want the first drive when these launch. Drop a comment, V8 or e-tron, which are you taking? And if you want me to spec your perfect RS6, comment your budget and I will reply. Thanks for hanging out for 2 hours. I will see you in the next one.